Hello, my name is Nick Draper, co-host of the 9 Years podcast, an independent audio AFC Wimbledon fanzine. Recently, some AFC Wimbledon supporters have registered their concerns over the language used by our fan base, especially in the realm of social media. We here in the podcast are very proud of our family-friendly nature and would not wish to be considered as supporting the use of foul and or abusive language. Therefore, from now on, we will strive to refrain from using words such as Watford, Chelsea, Ryan or Hall. We will also avoid use of words such as damn, hell, fuck, wank, or any other racial or sexual slurs.
The 9 Years podcast.
Hello, and thank you for downloading episode 35 of the 9 Years podcast, available on iTunes, YouTube, and of course, 9yispodcast.com. As we broadcast this week's show, we are just 10 days away from WrestleMania. And this week we come to you to the theme of WWE Diva Sasha Banks, who, at the big show in Dallas, will be competing for the WWE Divas Championship against Dublin's own Becky Lynch and the daughter of the legendary Ric Flair, Charlotte, in a match that I'm probably looking forward to more than most at this year's show, it must be said. It's a big show this week. We've got a number of guests joining us at the boardroom in Kingsmeadow to discuss what we think is going to happen over the remaining 9 games of the season and see, based on our predictions, where we think we're going to end up in the League 2 table this year. But before we do anything else, I'll do this week's teaser, which of course, with it being the Easter weekend, as you're listening to this, got cast our minds back to 2009, to a Good Friday game where we famously, or infamously I should probably say, kicked off at 3:05pm. My question simply this week is, who were our opponents on that day and what was the score? With that out of the way, I'm now going to introduce the recording of our show this week. I'm not going to say that I deleted the original introduction, which I did live or in person with our guests this week in the boardroom of Kingsmeadow. That didn't happen whatsoever, not at all. That has not been lost or corrupted or anything of the sort. I just thought I'd like to have another go at saying everything over again and making it, just tidying things up a little bit. There was no lost audio whatsoever. But now I'm going to hand over to myself and Stu from Kingsmeadow immediately after the York game on Saturday. We've probably just witnessed one of the greatest goals we've ever seen at Kingsmeadow, really, to win us that game. We'll be chatting to our guests about this as well, so let's introduce them. Now, first of all, to my left, and he is actually on my left, which is great, because I wrote that in the script before we actually arranged the seating, which is handy, is the man who we are eternally grateful to for all the work he puts into our social media, and today for pretty much working his backside off all week to prepare everything for this show. So it is, of course, Don's legend and publisher of Top Shelf magazines, Mr. Paul Raymond. Next to him, again, fortunately, because I've written it down that he is. Oh no, I've got it wrong. I've got ahead of myself. Actually, next to him is Ray Armfield, another friend of the show, programme writer and tireless volunteer in a number of roles from the club. So hello, Ray.
Hello.
And I do apologise. Those of you who won't know, Ray actually has the dubious pleasure of sitting, I should say, near to or right next to my father at Kingsmeadow.
That's correct, yeah.
And I apologise for that one. I also am more apologetic for when my brother Chris turns up and you have to put up with him for an afternoon.
Oh, Chris is good. And so's your dad. He's the nicest person I think who ever points out linesman's faults.
He does it in a very gentlemanly way.
He does.
Yes. Gentleman lines person, yes.
Yeah.
And my brother on the other hand, just a law unto himself.
Indeed.
Yeah, never mind. And then finally, on my right is another friend of the show, someone who we're also very thankful to for all her support of the podcast, especially working with Don's Trust board member Jane Lonsdale, who I believe is still recovering from Stu's comments about red-headed people on last week's show.
Yeah, there's red-headed comments, and there's been women doing washing up and not knowing who Ellen DeGeneres is, and the list is endless.
I did pick on a ginger person, didn't I? But it was reference to an embarrassing moment, wasn't it?
Redhead.
Yes, redhead, sorry.
Come on, Stu. Well done. doing your bit for, I don't know, what is it?
Diversity.
Yeah,
I think, is
diversity.
it?
It must be not the dance troupe.
Kick it out day.
It was kick it out day, Stu. Actually, you need to stop now. Yeah.
I'll have a go.
We should have sexism in football. Kick out sexism as well, shouldn't we now? Yeah.
Don't set me up. Don't set me
I don't
up.
really need to be fair. You're not really good enough doing it yourself.
Myself.
So, yeah, we leave you to that. So anyway, York. So
I need to say up front that I'm here as a fan and not as a board member today. So anything that I say is my own personal views and nothing to do with the board views.
obviously we're no prep for this, so I'm really just picking things out of the air. Let's start with Stu. Let's start with you as we always do. We just come from the man of the match presentation, in which Jonathan Meads was announced the official man of the match today, to some consternation, perhaps, from the majority, I think, of watching public today. Who was your standout performer this afternoon?
Yeah, I think it's unfair on Meads, wasn't it? Because from my knowledge, the man of the match is selected probably about 5-10 minutes before end of the game. So I suppose at that time, to be fair, Danny Bourman last 10 minutes was running around like he was a 14, 15-year-old.
I wonder what word is coming out.
Yeah. How is he 37? The last 10 minutes, to be fair, he was the one really leading the side. And it's good to know you've got more than one captain on the pitch. But yeah, tough game today. I thought, in terms of man of the match, it might have been Danny Bourman, but of course, Jane Rees will steal the show with, quite rightly so, a top goal. But I would say Danny Bourman. I thought he led by example. It was excellent today.
We're pretty much agreed, I think, that on the strength of the performance, especially the last half an hour or so, that we deserved to get the 3 points there. We pretty much hemmed York in for pretty much the entire second half, really. We didn't feel, at times we weren't playing the greatest we've ever played. There was long spells where it was pretty poor, but we got there in the end. Stu, how important was the substitution of Tom Elliott coming on to us actually picking up the 3 points?
Yeah, it was massive. The problem we had today was that we just kept playing the balls easily into Winfield, who was he 6'3", 6'4". We could never build anything, so the ball kept coming back. We obviously know the problem with the pitches, so it forces into a long ball game, which then suits York when they get the early, let's say early goal. But the substitution was massive. We called it. I think everyone called it. To be fair, we're not experts, but everyone called it. And all of a sudden, we could link balls in. So you can knock balls into Elliott. You could get Lyle running off him. You can then get Frankham in the first half and the first half of the second half. Every ball George had was really literally back to goal. So there was no way we'd get any sort of penetration. I'll use that word again. That's become a favourite word now, isn't it? But we could never get really any momentum going or anything like that. We can never get it going, could we? We can never get going. But as soon as Tom come on, all of a sudden they looked distressed at the back, and the goal was coming. Although let's be fair, at 90 minutes, what did we have? Probably a header that was saved at the near stick. I think Lyle Taylor had a shot cleared off the line. It was like, is it going to happen? And then Jay just decides just to slam it in the top corner. So there you go.
Yeah, you got to just rewards in the end. Ray, if I can ask you mentioned there about my father and his comments to the gentleman linesperson. We had a few shouts for penalties today. From your vantage point, did you see any that you felt could have been given?
Well, I sit quite close to the halfway line, so perhaps I should have a decent view. But I thought they were 50-50 shouts. I mean, perhaps on a bigger ground, say Portsmouth somewhere with 15,000 people shouting for them, maybe you get them given. I saw the assistant referee on our side. I think he was affected by the stand once or twice and did sort of give us the benefit of the doubt, one or two raises of his flag. But sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't.
Yeah, there was one in the first half that was at the far end from where Stu and I were, which looked like possibly a handball. We couldn't quite tell. Definitely seen one down our end second half with Rhys Murphy in the box. Potentially goes down. I'm not sure why he'd go down there.
I think Rhys is quite smart. If you look at Rhys when he plays, he gets his body in between the ball and the defender, so he has that ability to roll, doesn't he? But I probably would have said it wasn't a penalty. The first half, it looked like to me he'd done a little bit of a star jump at the front stick. And don't get me wrong, my eyes are going ever so much now, so I don't know if it was a pen, but it looked like he was defending with all his body in the first half.
So, Jane, obviously we had a couple of home debuts today. Rhys Murphy making a second appearance for us, but his home debut at Kings Meadow today. Also the full debut of Darius Charles, who joined us in the week. What did you make of his first appearance?
Yeah, I thought he took a little bit of time to get into the game, but I thought he was really solid once he'd had. And I think he worked really well alongside Robbo.
Yeah. Do we think it's going to be a signing that's really going to improve the squad, or are we thinking it's going to be more like a stopgap until others come back in?
I don't know. I think it depends on how long they take to settle down. I think Robbo took a little while to settle down when he first came in, and who's the guy who's out injured at the moment? I should know all of this. Carly Osborne took a little while to settle down, and once he settled down and found his feet, and he was brilliant. And I think we really miss him. So I think it could take. I know we've only got 10 games, but I think it could take 2 or 3 games for him to really settle down. But I think from what he's shown today, his heading ability is good. He's putting the ball out wide when he needed to. I think he was good.
And Paul, if I may ask you, as I know you watched from the Tempest end, from behind the goal, what was your vantage point of the winning goal, of Jake Reed's wonder strike? I'll tell you from where we were, afterwards, the celebrations of the Tempest end were as spectacular as the actual goal itself.
Yeah, I stand in the right by the corner flag, so saw a lot of George Frankham's corners coming over on the Paul Strank side of things. So wasn't right in the middle of the Chemflow end, but when it got hit, it was sort of like this might be close as it began to dip, and then just mayhem.
Yeah,
just utter mayhem.
And I think it's on moments like these where I know we won't talk about players now because this is what we're going to do later in the show. But on moments like this, you start to think that's when moments like that are where things turn for you, and you get a last kick of the game, worldy, spectacular, amazing, incredible goal to get you 3 points, and you think, well, you'll look back. I think we'll be looking back at the end of the season and remembering that as a key moment in our playoff chase, potentially.
And can I just say also that there was a lot of people leaving early, which I never understand.
Yeah.
I never understand. And on 90 minutes, I think when Flinders died down to his right hand side and tipped it around the post, I remember seeing people walking, and I'm thinking, just stay. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why people leave. And I know obviously Kings Meadow is not a great ground to get out of if you're stuck on the far side. I get that, but at the moment, these games are massive at home games, and we've got back on winning ways today. But I just feel sometimes goals are scored late in these games, and it'd just be nice if people could keep the atmosphere going and stuff like that. So whoever missed a goal, well, that's your own fault if you've gone early. But it's one of my bugbears, isn't it? Who will leave me early?
Yeah, there were 2 moments for me today. One of which was that one as well. The other one was, and Stu, you'll appreciate this because we were sat in the Paul Strank stand. And the moaning from the man next to me about George Frankham was borderline ridiculous at times.
We've always had blue boys. Even when we were low down the leagues, we using AFC Wimbledon fans pick on one player, be it Andy Sullivan when we were in the CCL or whatever. They pick on one player and they just go for it, and they go for it time and time and time again. Nothing you can do about it. Not that I agree with it. If you look at George's corners today, I thought they were great. The only one that wasn't great was the short corner, and that wasn't his fault. It was whoever he passed it to, whose name I forget now, didn't get control of the ball and lost the ball. So that actually wasn't his fault. No. But it will be his fault.
Yeah, of course it will be his fault. It will be his fault.
Well, yeah, I made a comment, didn't I? I think I was in the first half, someone moaned about Frank, and I was like, has Bartram touched the ball yet? Because Bartram had him. Let's be fair, Bartram got sub today. And don't get me wrong, Bartram's had a great season. But I think sometimes George does get involved and wants to be on the ball and takes all the corners and set pieces, and unfortunately is in a lot of the moments where it affects the game. And I think George did well today, and hopefully he'll get off his back, but he's doing well.
I think collectively though, as a crowd, we are very, very patient. I mean, I've seen some games down here. I think if you took that match and put it, say, in Luton or Portsmouth,
maybe
perhaps
after 5 minutes.
Of the most patient set of fans, I thought they'd be a lot less or a lot more vocal than perhaps we would have been. So yes, we do have boo boys, as loads of clubs do, but I think as a fan base, collectively, we are pretty good.
Yeah, that's fair to say.
Fair point.
Yeah. Stu, then before we sign off, then we've already touched on these parts, but your man of the match today. Hero of the week, man of the match, phrase it this week.
Danny Bourne by miles for me today, led by example, and he's going to be a key player for the running.
And villain?
No real villain.
It's always difficult to pick a villain when you've won a game and this is the only game of the week.
I thought the goal was weak today. I don't know, maybe I'm being harsh on Bruce at the moment, but I did feel it was low again in the corner. I wouldn't say he's a villain because, to be fair, he's kept out a few, he's done his job, but I think it'd be hard to give a villain today after such a good win.
As I've already said, we're recording this straight after the game, but please check Twitter and Facebook during the week for our 3-word reports, # on 3-word report, and of course our man of the match poll result as well.
Hi, I'm John Green, sponsor of the world-famous John Green Stand at Kings Meadow, and you're listening to the 9 Years Podcast, the nation's most listened to AFC Wimbledon podcast.
Stu and Paul, you've concocted really the main topic of the show this week. So at this point, I think I might just hand things over to you guys to sort of explain exactly what we're doing and how we're going to do it.
Well, one of them great moments earlier in the week where I all of a sudden get a text message and go, Paul, we're thinking of doing a predictions for the final 9 games.
This was Stu's text, not mine, by the way, listeners.
Have you...
Nick was too busy working.
Have you got a spreadsheet that can do this? And it's like, no, but I could build one. And so originally Stu sort of said, I said, well, where do we take the cut-off point to? You know, how many teams do we want to look at? And he went, I think we should stop at Newport. You know, that would be the play. So 16 teams. I'm thinking, that's something like 130 games to predict. It's just like, that's silly. So basically, I've built a spreadsheet over several late-ish nights to basically look at the current top 10 clubs. The top 10 as of Thursday the 17th. Of March 2016, and taken all of their all of their games remaining, and then we've asked, we said, right, let's get some people to predict the results on this. So we took Stu, Nick, obviously, myself, and then Ray Armfield, Jane Lonsdale, and we were hoping Chris was going to be able to, but unfortunately...
Chris not done it yet?
I think he's going to... he sent me a text message that said he'd complete it on the 8th of May.
Oh, right, brilliant. That sounds about right. 2 months
He'll probably still get them wrong.
No, he will get them wrong. But at least 8th of May is only 2 months later than when you want it by, which is actually an improvement for him.
And then we've got one other person
He's not even here to defend himself. It's not really fair.
That's all right. Off-pod. Tell him to contact Off-pod.
Yeah, I will do.
And also the ball boy, George, who has been on the podcast before, he also earlier today predicted just the AFC Wimbledon remaining games. So what we've got is everyone's done the predictions, and it's really quite remarkable because, sorry, that's a very cliche-ish term, but...
We don't have cliches in this podcast, Paul, never. Not once, ever.
And although it ends up with everyone having very roughly the same number of points for us, we finish in a whole host of different places in the league. So I think what we're going to do is look at mainly our games remaining, what people think of predictions, where we are. Some people have obviously been extremely optimistic and don't think that we would ever lose a game.
Stu, it's audio. No one can see you putting your hand up.
Just for the benefit of the listeners, I'm raising my hand because I could not predict a loss. Because that would go against my my beliefs.
And other people perhaps are showing their years of experience and perhaps underestimated our...
Yeah, I was going to say.
Underestimated.
I'm only 24, it can't be me. Yeah. Where do we want to begin then, Paul? Do we want to begin with looking at... Or have we got predictions for today? Can we quickly look and see how right or wrong we were today?
I know I said we were just going to win because there'd be no point doing a podcast, and at half time, to be fair, we needed to cancel it.
Yeah, we were going to call it off. I actually had this down for 3-0 today. I think I predicted 4-1 Bristol Rovers to win at Newport. I had Luton to win 1 at Plymouth, and I had Oxford to win 3. Wow, do you know what, Stu?
I actually believed you for about 5 seconds and then realised what you were doing.
Yeah, never mind.
So I imagine we all went for a win today. None of us went for a loss, did we, or a draw?
Win.
Yeah.
But only just.
But why? It's team at the bottom of the table, bottom of the form guide. Everyone knows that's a guaranteed away victory.
And we just scraped a So where are we looking? We're ninth at the moment, aren't we? So obviously people will know the league table. We're ninth at the moment, so sitting just outside. I think probably best to start with Easter weekend as a whole, isn't it? We've got 2 games coming up, so we can probably get them both out of the way. So we travel up to Hartlepool on Friday, Good Friday, and then back here for the Sky game, isn't it? Sky have decided to come to join us. So we've got Pompey as well. So we've got a team down at bottom now, I believe, Hartlepool, struggling down at bottom, aren't they? Hartlepool in 21st, aren't they? So we haven't won there. We might as well actually build up. I've just literally looked at the head-to-head. It ain't very good. And no cheating, by the way, if you put us down for a win there. But we haven't won it or got a draw there. So our record's not very good. And it's very cold in Hartlepool. Probably the coldest place on earth. It is very cold up there. So I hope the players and do wrap up warm. But in all seriousness, I've gone for. I think I've gone for a draw. I know I didn't go for a defeat because I don't do them. So I know I've gone for a draw up at Hartlepool, a 1-1 draw. I think we'll get a score draw up there.
Yes,
and me
Jane,
too.
You go for a score draw up
1-1
there?
draw as well.
Yeah.
No, we're going to win. We're going to win. We're going to win. We've got to win there some point, surely.
Yep.
True.
So, and I haven't got us winning all the time. I hasten to add, but yeah, I've gone for a win there.
I went for a win as well, actually.
What did Chris? Oh no, that's right. That's so Portsmouth again. I think I just like putting draws down. I think I like a draw. I put 0-0.
Oh.
By yourself, Jane?
I said we would lose that game.
Home to Portsmouth.
Just because I think they're fighting for the playoffs as much as we are, and I think they're a bit more clinical than we are. I think there's been. I mean, we saw today's game. We should have been 4, 5, 6 goals up, and I think when we play teams like that in the past, they're just a little bit more clinical than we are.
I've gone for a loss as well. I think Paul Cook's a very shrewd manager. He plays a 4-2-3-1 set up, and I think he's got the players in those positions to hurt us a bit. And yes, they are coming into reasonable form as well.
I went for a draw. We might just grind one out. George went for a 3-2 home victory.
Which we're going to celebrate with. Can we have that for every prediction we say?
It's like George is here with us.
Stu, you obviously gone for. I think you've predicted us to win every single game, haven't you?
I think there's. If you look at the fixtures as a whole, we've got some massive 6 pointers. So I think the Pompey game is one of our 6 pointers.
So yes,
I've got to win.
To win. There we go.
I feel we're going to get a win.
Fair enough. Okay, good. So there's lots of other games we predicted pretty much every game over the Easter weekend, involving the teams in the promotion race. So Paul, if you can, where would that take us based on our prediction? What have we said we'd be after sort of the Easter weekend?
Just looking, and basically we're still outside the playoffs. In fact, Nick, you've got us 5 points outside the playoffs by the looks of it. I've got a point outside the playoffs. Ray, you've actually got 6 points outside the playoffs.
Yes.
And
it's the pessimist in me.
And Jane 4 points. So yeah, but it's the bottom half of the playoffs is getting extremely tight. Of course, the Portsmouth game as well is the beginning of a 2-week period of crunch.
Top of the table games.
Well, playoff.
Yeah,
playoff teams.
So we go to Wickham on the 2nd of April. So what are we thinking on Wickham?
3 draws.
I've gone for a draw. Yeah,
4 draws.
I've gone for a draw.
And Jane,
I've gone for a win.
Wow.
I've gone for us winning. Only because I'm representing the club in the boardroom that day, and I just want to be able to wander around going, look, we won! Diving, so and so.
falling on the floor, holding your face.
Wickham are a lovely club, though, aren't they?
And George,
to be fair,
they're a lovely club. Yes.
To be fair, they were really, really nice. When we were doing the Bring the Dons Home campaign, they were one of the first clubs to come to us and ask for stuff to put up in their boardroom and to help us. So, yes, they're good. I'm not so sure about their football ability on the pitch because most of them spend their time on the floor.
Well said. I've gone for a draw, I think could get a win there. I don't know, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Their form's starting to pick up a bit now as well. Of course, we don't know the form going into these games. We're going to go on the form we know now. But I think if me personally, we get a point there, then we've done well.
I'm happy with a point there. I think they had a little dip in there. We thought they might fall out, but as you say, they've sort of picked themselves up again and are doing really well. There's some big games that week. We've got Exeter Plymouth, so obviously a big derby game. Tough game for Plymouth there, especially in their current form at the moment. So I think Plymouth to drop points there. Other than that, Bristol Rovers to win again, got an easy game. Luton have got to win again, not that we care. And
I've got Leyton Orient going to York that weekend. And again, as you don't know current form, but I was sort of thinking with York maybe being amongst it, they're still 7 points clear of Stevenage, aren't they? But you wonder whether York may be out, so they're going to start getting some wins somewhere. So that could be a tricky game for Leyton Orient, who could be in amongst the mix with us around the playoffs. To go through to next week after that, and we've got the 9th, haven't we? So we are.
Well, before that, Stu, on the 5th of April, according to my thing, we've got Carlisle Hartlepool, big 4-all draw that's coming at Brunton Park that evening.
You picked a 4 draw for a game that. And the reasons
The
for
thing
that?
is, if it is 4-4 now, just the bragging rights I'll have forever and a day.
And if you put a bet on it, it'll be even better.
Well, I'm going to put a bet on it now. Obviously, I can't not put a bet on that now. But it'll be a repeat of what happened when we went up to Carlisle, just with more people probably. Imagine Hartlepool would take a hell of a number.
It's quite a local derby, don't it? Ish.
Yeah, it's up north somewhere, so they're all quite local, I think.
It's past Watford, isn't it? So.
Past Watford. Don't mention Watford.
Northern Powerhouse.
Yeah. So that then does take us to the 9th, where we have our big game away at Plymouth as well. Jane, what do you think? We've got a good record at Plymouth, actually.
I've gone for a draw.
Yeah, that's what I've got.
Just because I think two top teams, they don't let many goals in at Plymouth, but I think it will keep it tight. I think we'll end up with a draw, either a score draw or no score draw. I'm not sure, but a draw.
I've got us down to lose there purely for the fact that we do have a good record there, and I think at some point that's going to have to come to an end. And I think surely Plymouth are going to find some form from somewhere. I look back at them at the start of the season, and I still think they're the best team I've seen here this season.
Yeah, well, we had a conversation earlier, actually.
And I can't believe how they've fallen away.
Exactly.
They've had a few injuries, haven't they? They lost midfields, didn't they, if I remember?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Is it the pressure getting to them, maybe? There's a big expectancy there, isn't there, at Plymouth?
Yeah. They're a big club by League Two standards, so yeah. But I think perhaps they might just edge us out. Obviously, I hope I'm wrong, but we shall see.
Yeah, I went for a defeat there, unfortunately. But there again, it's funny because we've been saying that Plymouth seem to be struggling a little bit, and we're all suggesting that we're not going to get a result there. So is that sort of game where we will get a result and it will make a big difference?
Yeah.
And
it's a 6 point. It's a 6 point if you don't lose ground. Whether we're going to catch Plymouth is unlikely, but I think we're set up. I think we go there and set up not to lose at least and pick something up. We can pick something up from our away games, and then our home games are obviously going to be our key. Anything else that weekend that we look at?
Yes, Northampton Bristol Rovers, which I've got Northampton to actually win, but I think that'll be a hell of a game, especially if Bristol Rovers can maintain their form going into it. I've still got Northampton to win that one, but that's a big game for us. I think a few teams in and around are away that weekend. Leyton Orient away, Oxford away, Portsmouth away, Accrington Stanley away at Luton. I've got them all I've got them picking up points though. At that stage, Paul, how are we looking in terms of where we respective league tables looking? Because I'm looking at the fixture now, thinking that's actually a huge weekend. That one.
just having a look. So Stu, I've got you saying we'll be in 9th place, 62 points. Leyton Orient are in 7th on 64. Nick, 60 points for us in 9th. Leyton Orient's on 7th on 64 points. I've got us in 10th place on 61 points. Leyton Orient on 67. Interesting. And Ray, you've got on 58 points and playoff 67. So you've got us sort of 9 points adrift of. But the interesting thing about from that week there, all the teams have played the same number of games. At the moment, there's a couple of games, so then it's like straight rush to the finish.
So from there, we've got what? We've got 5 games remaining from that point.
So I was just thinking, actually.
Yeah, so we go into the Crawley Town game, don't we? With 5 to play. So that it sort of leaves on the outside, doesn't it? It's all to play for at that point, isn't it? Although we're probably the good thing is we're still going to be in amongst it of still being mathematically capable of getting the step out from that 5th place. So we go into the game against Creepy Crawley here, which I can't wait for.
It's your 2 teams, isn't it?
It is. I'll go away for a week as well, so I come back for that game especially. And to celebrate that, I've gone for a 3-0 win. Yeah, totally unbiased, of course. I've gone for a 3-0 win. I think we'll beat them quite comfortably.
Yeah, I mean, I've got us down for a win, but only by the 1 goal. I seem to be. But that's the first time I've predicted us to win actually in this whole run-in, which is 4 draws and a win at last. But I'm assuming, Jane, that you've probably gone for a win as well there against.
Well, I have, but thinking about it, that's actually One Bell's Day, and we haven't got a really good record. So I have gone for a win, but that is One Bell's Day. But the point I'd like to make on this, can I jump to another team very quickly?
Of course you can.
So I've gone for Oxford Luton as a draw that day. My heart actually says Oxford should win. However, the Luton goalkeeper plays in pink, and it's One Bell's Day, so he's going to have to come up with some decent saves that day and make sure that they go only with 1 point and not 3. Oxford at that game.
Yes, the Luton goalkeeper being Justin.
Oh,
Just
you expect me to
Ham.
know his name? I don't know his name.
Well,
He wears pink.
we had a bit of fun with him last time because of his surname being
Oh,
Just
he's
Ham.
the basic sandwich, isn't he?
Basic,
Yeah.
yes, that's a nice way of putting it. Yeah, I'm not sure that was what the Ken Flowers were singing at. You're just a basic Tesco sandwich.
I think he's
Charles-
been dropped now, though, isn't he?
Has he really?
They've got somebody else in a low
He'll
knee.
still have to
in-
wear
What,
pink,
sort
though.
of like
Yeah.
tuna and mate?
yeah.
Poor bloke.
David BLT.
So I'm hoping
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
whoever was in goal for Luton that day thinks about the one bells here and shows a bit of camaraderie.
I'm sure. Do you know what? I'll get in touch with Luton and make sure. I'll
Thanks.
tell them.
Thanks.
I'll sort that one out.
Just
Jane.
very quickly, can I just quickly say, it's a shame with Crawley Town that Steve Evans still wasn't here, right, for one bell day. Can you imagine getting a bit of pink town, dressing him up if he went putting match his face colour to be
Mascara,
fair with his blood.
yeah.
Definitely
Can
mascara.
you imagine on a one bells day how Steve Evans would be on that sort of day?
So the one bells really have a bad record
Oh,
because
just
none
that's
of the players really want to be man of the match when it's the one bell.
Ah, I see.
I love one bells day. I think they play the what's the song they play in the Mood for Dark? No, what's the
Yes, I mean,
I think
dance,
it's great.
yeah.
I think it's a bit of cheese. Nothing wrong with a bit of cheese here and there.
Podcast gold.
That's
Stu.
thrown it. That's thrown it all.
Thanks for that. That's a soundbite we're going to be listening again and again and again. Just remember this, there's nothing wrong with a bit of cheese. Yes. Moving on. Thank you, Jane. Ray, what did you have for Crawley? A win, surely?
I have us down for a draw, funnily enough. I just
Crawley
think
Town.
Crawley are going to be creepy.
Yeah.
I've seen a few highlight shows lately, and Matt Harold seems to have
Never.
rediscovered how to
Surely
score goals. And he's always been a thorn in our side, and I just think he may be again.
Does he
So-
still have the same colour hair?
Hair.
Let's
I don't know,
go
Stu.
to our hair
Yeah.
expert.
Hair expert Stu.
Yeah.
Cheers for that. Yeah.
Anytime.
If I had hair, I wouldn't have. Yeah, no. I don't know. Has he got?
He's
Has he
still
got the
red-headed.
red-headed.
Red-headed, yes, he's
Yeah.
red-headed.
I don't know. To be fair.
Yes. His form is on fire as
I
much
try to
as
keep
his
quiet
hair.
because I don't want to stitch myself up. So, Paul, what do you reckon on the Crawley game?
Crawley, yeah, I think we'll win. I think Fortress Kingsmeadow will once again come into its...
Fortress Kingsmeadow?
Yeah, well, you know, sort of... We won today.
True.
Small F, maybe.
In terms of the standings, Stu's got us 2 points outside the playoffs, moved up to 8th. Leighton Orient still the team we're battling with for that place. Nick, I've got you as being 4 points outside in 9th place, so 63 points, but Leighton Orient 67. I've got us in 64 points, 4 points, Leighton Orient 68, so it's all much of a muchness. Ray, I think you're planning your summer holiday, aren't you? Because you've got us on 61 points, so 9 points adrift with 4 games left.
My good times are coming, though. So
Okay.
bear with me.
What holiday?
No.
And Jane got you with 66 points, so 3 points, but once again Leighton Orient, so it's all, as we're going to see, it's
as we head into a week where we go away to Dagenham and Richmond, where I'm assuming we're all going to. Yeah, Stu's shaking his head.
Tuesday night in Dagenham.
Because Stu knows that he's just been stitched up again, pretty much.
I just call him Dagenham now because I can't work out whatever part of it is. But,
I'm assuming we've all gone for wins there.
Yes. Even I have.
I was going to say,
Mr. Pessimist. Even I have. Yeah.
First.
Unless I've made a mistake, Stu, what did you have us down for?
We've gone for it's the 19th of April now.
Yep.
I've gone for a 2-0 win.
Apologies,
I've
yes.
gone for a 2-0 win.
I've gone for 1-0, but I think they will be virtually down by then.
Yeah.
They possibly could by then, couldn't they? So again,
That's the time to play them.
Jamie Curtin available from the retirement home, or
Probably.
just to sort of win the golden boot for this season?
Well, he's got no assist in the goal kick this time, has he? To give him a hand in.
Yeah.
For a goal, has he? So
Well,
sorry,
Yeah.
got a hand into him. You got a hand into him, but hey.
But yeah, everyone's feeling confident about
I think we should.
our
They've
trip.
only won one
Yeah.
game, haven't they, all season? No, one home game all
Yeah,
season.
And that was York.
yeah.
So, yeah.
So it's a quite shocking record, isn't
Yeah,
it? But,
it is.
We always take lows to Dagenham as well, so it should be a great midweek game.
Yeah.
even if they have two teams, it's not really fair.
Yeah.
Still
I've
rubbish.
done nothing this season, have they? So
It's
In the top
let's have a
seven.
look. So we've got the
just
19th
while,
of
yeah,
April.
so just while Paul's doing it, that midweek game's quite interesting because Pompey go to York again. Might still be chasing Stevenage, you probably would imagine by then, and also Yeovil go to Wickham. And if you look at Yeovil's form since they beat us here, pretty impressive. Yeovil are starting to read. So I've gone for them to be some real. I've gone for Pompey to lose at York. I've gone for Wickham to draw at home to Yeovil, which could play quite a big part. As we found out today, teams down the bottom are going to give the teams at the top a hard time. So I think it's some interesting games around us as well, especially that midweek.
Looking at the table, Stu, you've got us in the playoffs on goal difference above Leyton
I'll get us there
Orient.
eventually.
68 points. Nick, you've got us on 66 points, 2 points behind both Leyton Orient and Wickham. Wickham Swimming Club. I've got us 3 points behind Wickham. 67. Ray. Oh yes, notice the comeback has started.
Yeah.
We're now only 7 points.
Only 7 points
Yeah,
now.
so
Yeah.
with 3 games to go. Jane, you've got us a point behind Leyton Orient. So
That's where it gets really. It does get tense, but it gets very, very exciting by this point. I think when we
horribly
start.
wrong the following weekend.
Quite probably, actually, yeah, for my ones as well.
What does that bring us into then? The 23rd of April and a home visit. Sorry, not home visit. A
Home
home game.
visit.
Yeah.
The players take a day off.
Yeah.
We're going to see like home visits.
That could be interesting.
Look after
Jail.
the elderly.
Sorry, a visit from Leyton Orient. A classic London derby with 3 to go. And,
Go on, Jane, I'm
yeah.
guessing you've predicted a defeat then, have you?
I have, yeah. I just think Sammy Moore will come back and haunt us.
Yeah.
Sammy Moore,
Sammy
forgot
Moore,
about
of
him.
course, yes,
So
of course.
yeah, I
need
just
to factor
think
that in.
I have, and I've, yeah, we've got to lose at some point. I've had us drawing and winning, I think, up until that point. So I just think we might lose.
Big due defeat, yeah. Right.
Surprise, the big black cloud that I am has got us down to lose
Yeah.
3-2.
Okay.
I hadn't realised today, somebody told me Kevin Nolan started to play as well as manager Orient,
Yes.
and he's playing very well.
Yeah,
And I think he could be the man for them.
yeah. Their form has
And yes, you've got the Sammy Moore factor as well, if he gets a game, of course. these days.
Is he not getting in the team? I've not been looking.
I was saying, because who's he replacing? Who's going in then, possibly.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
imagine Nolan and Sammy Moore in that midfield. God, that communication between them two can be quite interesting. One's a Geordie. He's Northern, isn't he?
No, he's a Scouser, isn't he?
Scouser,
Yeah,
it was.
yeah. And Sammy Moore, who'd be buzzing.
the
Conversation.
Come what may.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
making a note now. So
Yeah.
who is it? It's red-headed people.
red-headed
Phoenix apologists,
Liverpudlians.
I just said the communication levels
women.
could be quite interesting because Sammy Moore is always buzzing. It's, it'd be great for Sammy to come back here in all seriousness. Hopefully he got a great reception.
He did,
To be fair, he got the best reception out of everyone.
Yeah.
We went to
Yeah.
Labour anyway.
Well,
Even our
did
players.
they had a-
Yeah, he
when
did
we
that
went
day.
there,
Yeah.
they had a player sent off, did they not?
Yes.
And then
They did.
we battered them, but we just again we were not clinical enough. We didn't get the ball in there.
Yeah, it'd be good to see him come back. He must be a real crowd favourite and doing really well, isn't he?
Yeah. So sorry, Stu, did I miss out then? What did you say about?
Well, I just think it's the busiest part of the season, isn't it? And if we're going to get in the playoffs, that's the game we're going to have to win.
So you've got time to win.
I've got us down to win. I think our home form's got to start improving, and I'm totally biased. And I've gone for a home win.
Fair enough. Well, what have you gone for Orient?
I've gone for a. Where were we? I've gone for a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, I've got a draw as well. Yeah, I can just imagine that being one of
It's
those
just.
frustrating games.
I think
where
it's just one of them games that could go either way,
Yeah.
and hopefully, if we're right on the verge of the playoffs, we will get a really good atmosphere down here. People will just think, "Hold on, it's." We didn't think we had a chance, and if we're still in it, perhaps the players that we're going to, the squad will be working together well. When you think today we had new central defender, striker, so just getting it all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it could go either way. Final two.
Final two.
Two games to go.
So we're going to win at Stevenage. I don't know. So at the very beginning of the season, our family does. We all predict what the end score, what the position will be in the table at the very end. Right at the very beginning, I said 11th, and I'm quite happy to stick by that for this season. I don't think my predictions actually reflect that when it comes to it, but we shall see where we end up. I think, I'll be very happy with the level.
Stu, how many have we got us down to win by Stevenage then? 1-0, 2-0?
I've gone for a draw, because Stevenage is not a great...
No way.
It's not a great place for us.
Really?
Stevenage is not a great place for us, is it, really? It's a horrible place.
It's not a great place for anyone.
To go. It's also very actually it's the volunteers.
I was just going to say,
So
if the Wombells think they have a bad record, step forward, Volunteers Day.
Away day.
Is it really that bad?
Was it Dagenham last
Why have
year?
we picked the second to last game?
Oh, yeah.
Was it
Yes, it was last year, yeah.
Dagenham and
Forest
Richmond?
game as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The
Dagenham
meal
and
was the
Richmond,
highlight
yeah.
of the day last year.
Yeah.
That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose whilst we're on that point, obviously any listeners in here, obviously volunteers, make sure you get in touch with the club and make the most of, which is always a good event as well. And the more people get down to Stevenage, we can support the team more.
So, Ray, I'm assuming, what have you said? Not that it's going to really help us or hinder us now in your predictions, but Stevenage?
Stevenage, I've got us down to win, and to win 3-0.
Wow, that is confidence.
I just think it's all going to come together. I think
Too late.
just too late. I think maybe Stevenage may be safe by then,
Yeah,
so
true.
perhaps
Go for it.
they might stick a few kids in. I'm hoping perhaps if my predictions come true and we're out of the playoffs, we might play some kids as well, and I think our kids might be better than theirs.
Will it be a brave performance?
Could be brave, yeah.
Paul, what have you said for Stevenage?
I've got us to win.
Yeah.
I've got us to win. Where am I? Thank you. Here all week. 1-0 victory.
I have got us down for a win, a 2-1 win at Stevenage, and hopefully that might see us into the playoffs, depending on Leighton Orient, who I've got Leighton Orient to win that day, so I'm assuming not. And Wickham and Action to take points off each other, though, so possibly big gap. Well, they're all huge at this stage of the season, but look.
Yeah, there is. Plymouth go to Cambridge as well, so Cambridge seriously underperformed this year, haven't they, as well? So you want to I think they're going to surely finish the season. It'd be interesting. Cambridge have spent a lot of money this year, haven't they? So that's not done great this year.
Northampton Luton play that day as well, and I've got Northampton play that day as well. Yeah, and I think thanks. And I've got Northampton to lose that game because I don't think they can win every game. And they've got to slip up at some point, and I think Luton might be really pushing for
Good choice.
at that point.
I've actually gone for a draw, actually.
Yeah, to be fair, Northampton will probably be paraded in the championship trophy.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
I'm sure Luton will appreciate that massively.
Oh, I'm sure they will. Yeah, I'm sure the Luton fans will love that one.
Do they still have to? So if Northampton have won it clear by that point, do they still have to do the Guard of Honour? Is that like the thing to do?
It's
They would
expected,
do.
isn't it?
They would do, yeah.
We were talking earlier in the bar about the Premier League, and I think if Leicester win the league, then on their final day, Chelsea have to give them a Guard of Honour at Stamford Bridge as well, which would be lovely.
Wow.
So,
How much would that hurt?
So when do they
Yeah.
do the Guard of Honour? They do it at the game that it's
No,
that they're
from that point.
From that point,
From
they-
one
Once
Yeah.
they're
Be
champions.
that game.
it could be.
Could
Every
be
team, I
Luton.
think, tends to give the Guard of Honour once it's
Have we
mathematically.
got playing on
No, we're all right.
and to be fair, I think back to when we won titles in the
Yeah.
non-league days,
By
and teams were
February.
very good doing
Yeah.
it for us.
Do it
Yeah.
September. Do it
Very good.
September.
Yeah.
CCL.
Yeah. Oh, you again? Yeah.
Sorry.
So where's that all left? Where is that leaving us amongst our very predictions?
Stu's got us in the playoffs, of course, but not secure. Stevenage. Nick, you've got us outside the playoffs by 2 points. I've got us outside the playoffs by a point.
Is this all from Leighton Orient, is this?
No, this is after Stevenage.
But are we a point off?
No,
Who's
no, sorry,
who's
right, yeah.
occupying the
So,
second place?
6th place, Stu's. Oh, well, sorry. In 8th place, in Stu's case, is Leighton Orient, who are a point. Yeah. Nick, you've got Leighton Orient 72, us on 70, so that's 7-8 again. I've got Wickham 72, us on 71, Leighton Orient on 71. So that's where that draw against.
Really
Yeah.
tight.
And well, we've already said that Ray's got us adrift.
By enough.
Yeah, by 67 points below Wickham.
67 points below Wickham.
No.
Because of the Rocket League, isn't it?
Don't talk about Wickham and falling. Yeah.
Points, 'cause they get
Yeah, don't talk about Wickham and falling.
Sorry,
'cause,
Play some kind of illegitimate player at that point and take a huge hit from points.
and Jane's got 3 points adrift of Plymouth, who've dropped to 7th. You've got Leyton Orient in 6th.
Clearly don't like them, do I?
No, I think it's Plymouth.
So-
it's a serious drop if they do that, isn't it?
That would mean that Plymouth on the last day, Jane, going to home to Hartlepool, would need to win. To
Yeah,
probably
they
step.
have. Yeah, they do win.
And
In my prediction.
Mine as well. Unfortunately, I've also got Leyton Orient at the Oval. I suppose that's an important one for you as well. And I've got Orient to do it, to get the 3 points there, which would probably mean we've probably got us finishing just missing out.
Maybe 11th, possibly.
Yeah, something in that region. Stu, I'm assuming, has got us to win.
Home to Newport.
Oh, I think Jane and I have probably got us to win, but it doesn't matter if we win or not because the other teams we've got to win as well.
Yeah, what have I got? I've got Leyton Orient to draw at Yeovil.
Yeah.
I've got Wickham to lose at Oxford. Probably Northampton I've got as a draw. I don't think Northampton, once they won the league, are a team. I don't think they're a team that will just go and play through. I think they will still try and get as many points as they can. So Chris Wilder's a decent manager at this level, and I think they've got a decent team. So I don't think they're going to handy to Pompey. I think they'll probably quite enjoy going to Pompey as well, and stopping them doing something as well. So that's my thinking on that.
Paul, what have you gone for?
I've got us to win.
And is that taking us?
Well, the tables do look very interesting then. Stu actually has us... well, not quite, but Stu actually has us playing away in the playoffs in the first round, first leg, because he has us in 5th place. So we'll have... Stu's...
I'm playing who?
Who would we have?
We would be playing... Oh, you like this one, Stu? Away at Accrington Stanley in the playoffs.
It's a great
Well, yeah,
midweek.
home and away, but yeah.
How many conversations did you go through to make sure you got your pie away?
Accrington's a great club.
Nick, you have us finishing outside the playoffs by 2 points
Yeah.
on Leyton Orient.
Yeah, by Leyton Orient. Yes.
I have us finishing 7th on goal difference from Leyton Orient,
And who would that leave us with us?
which would mean being away in the first leg of the playoffs to Bristol Rovers.
No, he's going to then, no?
Wouldn't take that
And
much.
then Ray obviously will be...
You'll be with each.
Got us to finish 8th. That's not bad.
That's not a bad season, is he?
Jane...
But I've got my 7th place team on 80 points, which I think,
Yeah.
if you asked Neil a few weeks ago,
Oh, God, yeah.
what would a playoff place cost?
Yeah.
He wouldn't have said 80 points
No, it was
for the 7th
70s,
place
wasn't it?
team.
He
Yeah,
was saying,
yeah.
low 70s.
Jane's got us finishing 8th, 3 points adrift of Plymouth, but on 75 points. So we've gone... Stu, you've got us on 75 points, finishing 5th. Jane's got us on 75 points, finishing 8th. Okay? That's how mad it is. Nick, you've got us on 73 points, finishing 8th. I've got 74, finishing 7th. Ray's got us on 70 points, finishing 8th. And George, from earlier, predicted us to get 74 points. So, just on sort of without people seeing each other's predictions, we're all pretty much think we're going to end up with the same number of points, but whether it makes us in the playoffs or not. Just really quickly to run through tables, everyone's got Northampton as champions, obviously. Everyone's got Oxford finishing 2nd.
It's fascinating though because I think Stu's got us finishing maybe 1 point more than I've got us finishing, but obviously the variance in where the final league positions suggests, as Stu was saying, a lot of teams up there are going to be taking points off each other, are really going to struggle, and it's going to be very, very hard running. There's nothing. It's a tight. We've always said this is a tight league, and it seems to be a very small margin between a great number of teams, and that just seems to support that.
I think what it shows is sort of wrapping that sort of side up. What a great season on all of our ones. What a great season we've had.
Yeah.
We finished that way.
Yeah.
I think we said that we were sort of in amongst the playoffs with 9 games to go as it is. I think we'd all take that, wouldn't we?
Absolutely.
For the journey.
Yeah.
So
I think the disappointment we might share that some of us finishing 8th or whatever in the league is ridiculous, really, because if you said 8th at the start of the season, yes.
So we
Oh,
did
yeah.
the family thing and I
Yeah.
said 11th, and now I'm kind of thinking, I'm going to be gutted if we just miss out on the playoffs.
And it shows signs of progress we made this season.
Absolutely.
And it also sets the expectation level for next season for Neil, because that'll be what the benchmark would be. So,
No pressure. You have noticed they're trying to build a stadium here.
yes.
Yes, fit for League One.
Yeah.
Just to finish off that there, thank you very much, Paul, for sorting all that out, doing all the data for us. And as we mentioned before, if you'd like to have a go at this and send us your predictions and see where you think your league table would finish based on your predictions, chuck us an email. If you email us at 9yrs@may14.co.uk, so that's may14.co.uk, and we'll sort you out, send you over an Excel spreadsheet. You can do all your results, all your predictions, all your 4-all draws or 8-7s or whatever you want to do, and find out where you'd have us finishing in the final league table. But once again, Paul, thank you very, very much for all the work you put into that this week.
It's time for the birthdays game here on the 9 Years podcast.
I've got 4 birthdays, as we have.
What?
Well, no,
Yeah.
I myself only have one a year, unfortunately. Yeah. I think I probably deserve 4 myself, but I only get 1.
But you do get 13 weeks holiday.
I do get 13 weeks holiday, yes.
Does it start tomorrow?
Sadly not, no. Sadly, at the time of broadcast, of course. At the time of broadcast, it's actually started already for a number of you listeners, actually. It starts at 1 o'clock on this Thursday, so happy days. I actually get a bit of time off work. Be celebrating with a nice little trip to Luton, there we go. But I have, 4 famous people who are celebrating birthdays this week.
Stu won't know any of them, that's right.
Stu won't know anything. No. Jen, you look
I'm
bewildered.
a bit scared now because I don't know anything about birthdays, but go on.
Well, what I thought the best thing to do this week is I will say the name of a famous person to each of you individually. I'll give you 1 each, and I will leave you to try and determine how old that person is turning this week. So, I'm going to have to cover... Stu, don't look, because you can probably see the answer to your ones. Yeah. But I'm actually going to start with... Ray, I'll start with you, actually. I've got a footballer one for you.
Oh, right.
It is soon-to-be relegated Aston Villa footballer, Scott Sinclair. Who I think is married to somebody, a famous actress, but I can't remember which one. Coronation Street actress, I think. Anyway, that's his birthday this week.
Okay.
Famous, you say?
Yeah, famous, yeah.
He's the sort of guy who's been around for a while, but in the shadows a bit recently. So I reckon he will turn 27.
Stu, how long have you been doing this game? And how many have you got right?
None at all. Well, I've got a few here and there. He's on the money.
27 years old.
Oh.
He is bang on 27. Stu, you're sacked. Ray's
There
doing
you
a
go.
birthday game from now on.
Thank goodness for that.
You've set the bar very high, though, for the rest of the guests today, I'm
thanks,
afraid.
Ray.
Yeah, that's all right.
Cigar.
Jane, I've gone for a red-headed female for you. That's the logical, isn't it?
Sarah
It
Ferguson.
is the star of sadly not Sarah. Well, I don't know why I say sadly not. Why would it? I have no interest in Sarah Ferguson whatsoever. But it is actress from Buffy the Vampire Slayer and How I Met Your Mother, Alison Hannigan.
It's like,
Yeah, the look on Jane's face suggests she has no idea who I'm
so
talking
you
about.
might need to call off pod because I have no idea who you're talking about.
It doesn't help you, but I'm a big fan of hers. I very much enjoyed her work.
Okay, so what? So Buffy the Vampire Slayer, that's like a teenage thing,
Yeah,
isn't
that-
it? And
that was-
that's finished a
That
while.
finished a long time ago, about 15 years ago, I reckon.
42. One will go 42. I'm a bit younger than me.
It's at this point where I wonder if you guys have been looking these up beforehand, because she's actually 42 years old. Stu, we haven't even planned to stitch this up. As a prank, as a wind-up, I should have set this up.
This game's easy, Joe. Who's next?
This is a piss take, and you can use the. Oh dear, what's going on here?
Well, if Paul gets his one correct, then I'll be
Then I'm
super
going
impressed. Paul, you've got star of The Apprentice and founder of Amstrad, Alan Sugar. Sir Alan Sugar, CDE, whatever he is. He's a great age. So, Stu's girlfriend, fiancée, Lorraine is in the room.
I'm not cheating like
Somewhat
that.
surreptitiously trying to pass on messages, but I certainly think she might be wrong.
I love the way she's got no intention of helping me.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
no,
you're sitting with your back to her, so
That's
yeah,
right.
that's right. No, I'm not paying attention of Lorraine because it's not fair. Alan Sugar, gosh, she must be.
It's 95, I think. We can't know.
He must be 65.
Oh, so close. So close, he's high. Yeah, Ray, what do you reckon? I'll pass it on.
I think he's pushing 70 now.
Yeah,
isn't
I
he?
was going to say 70.
Must be near
but
that.
He's just shy, yeah. 69 he'll be turning. Yeah, great age. 69.
Is that not time to retire?
Not if you're unsure. No.
I know we keep putting the age up.
No, because if he retires, we then get Donald Trump to present The Apprentice.
Oh, great. Anyway,
what's the next birthday?
we have the wrestling one, of course. Every week we have a wrestler's
Lovely.
birthday. So, well, I thought I'd get a wrestler
Lovely.
you might at least have heard of, which is the Undertaker,
Oh,
who is main
superb.
eventing WrestleMania this year, of course, at his age. Which I was about to say, which would have totally ruined the game.
So is he's still wrestling, this man, yeah?
Yes, he is still wrestling, yes. He is a current performer.
I remember Undertaker because when I used to watch it before, I thought it was before I realised what was happening.
What did you think they were doing
I was
before?
going to say, before I knew I didn't realise it was so well scripted.
We like predetermined.
Yeah, I reckon he's 45.
You're actually the first away of anyone on the prize in this dude.
That's a
He's 51.
How can he still be wrestling at 51?
So that's what they do.
Because it's predetermined.
That's still
Exactly.
word, isn't it?
Yeah, he can barely walk, but he can still wrestle
can
once a
still
year
win.
for the big show, and he probably will win. Yeah.
It'd be
51.
rude not to let him win, really, wouldn't it?
It would be, but you don't know. He lost a couple of years ago at WrestleMania. It was a big thing, big story. Yeah, undefeated for 21 years, and then he lost.
Stu, you've had a week to find out where Samoa Joe's from.
Yeah, where is Samoa Joe from?
I'm looking, I moved on.
How old do you think Bolivian Pete is based on the Bolivian part of his surname?
I just thought, we had this discussion the week, we thought it was just named after, I don't know. Well, yeah, it's from Samoa. I dig myself a hole even more, which I just
Undertaker reference, digging holes.
There you go.
I like the link.
cool.
And well there. Right,
Is that the birthdays?
that is. Stu, we're not going to stitch you up anymore, but, well, hold on, we've got unnecessary censors now, so enjoy.
Walker were very smart in some situations where they allowed us to have the ball in areas where Reevesy and Danny Ball could pick up. But we did play a lot of and in one of those, Reevesy tried to push the ball a little bit too much, got caught out, the ball through the middle. And Sweeney had a tug. From where I was, I thought it was very harsh, but I was at the other end. And you couldn't see, it was on the blind side, I couldn't see the actual tug, but he did Roos. And then Sweeney get off the line. Definitely the pullback was right. It was a correct decision. But I wouldn't blame Sweeney for it because he was just caught 1-on-1 for us playing really a bit of an adventurous.
This has happened fairly recently, fairly regularly over the past few. Jake Reeves can we accuse him of being a bit too casual in?
Sometimes, but I think with Jake, you've got to take the rough with the smooth. On one hand, you can't applaud Jake for some of the he does and some of the penetrative moves that he does, and then if he gets caught out, it's nature of the beast, isn't it?
Right, Stu, redeem yourself now. It's the answer to the teaser. Have you got an answer for who we played on Good Friday at 3:05 PM in 2009 and what the score was? Do you have an answer, or would you like Jane and Ray to try and help you out?
Well, this week, 2009, so it's got to be Conference South.
Yeah.
So bearing in mind it's Easter.
Bearing in mind it's Easter. Yes, Stu, Good Friday as well. I'm not sure that helps find out.
Well,
what team we
I'm
played.
thinking my logic is telling me it might be a local game. So would it be someone like Bromley?
No,
Was it?
no, that was on the Easter Monday, the famous Ryan Hall moment.
That was close. Cool. No, I don't know.
Jane, do you have an idea?
Well, so I'm going to confess that it was probably a One Bells game because they used to get the Easter weekends. So the Good Friday game was probably a One Bells, so I kind of think that I may not even remember much about the game.
Pretty highly likely.
I don't know, and I can't even think. No, sorry, no idea.
No, Paul.
Was it the replay against Beitar Jerusalem?
Yes, it was. The original game was abandoned 3 days before that, and then they sort of put it back on. No, Ray.
Have we established it as Conference South?
It's definitely Conference South.
It is.
So you did get that one correct.
So in that case, localish derby. I don't know, but I guess Hampton.
Nearly. Hampton and Redbridge, you mean?
Yeah.
No, sadly not. Do you know it was? It was actually Basingstoke Town of all teams.
Well, my logic totally threw us
Well,
there.
it was no.
Can you tell me who
Basingstoke's
got
quite
man of the
local.
match? That would have prompted.
I've got
You'll
the
probably guess it from the score and the goal scorer. We won 1-0, and the goal scorer was. I was going to put this one out there, but I'm assuming no one has any idea who the goal scorer was at that time. Alan Innes.
Now,
Now he's back flooding back.
Pink,
so Alan Innes
Pink
did
boater.
win man of the match because now it had nothing to do with the game, I have to say. I shouldn't have said that, should I? He came to have breakfast with us in the boys round the corner and wore the pink
Cowboy hat.
Right.
and so had already won man of the match pretty much before the game kicked off. The fact he scored a goal just kind of enforced the whole thing.
So we did actually win that game on a One Bells sponsorship day.
Yeah,
there
so
you go.
we don't always have a horrific record, but it's not been great recently.
So what I was
That's a
trying
few
to
years
also
ago.
say is that One Bell picked their man of matches.
No, we
based-
don't do that anymore. We don't do it. So
Yeah.
clearly we used to do that,
Used to.
and it was all a bit. So now we actually, this is a good point to clear the record. We actually give all of the One Bells a score sheet.
Score sheet.
Based on what you're scoring.
No, we're not scoring. So they
Swimsuit
mark
round?
down. So first half, second half, and they write down the name of their man of the match for the first half, and that all gets counted at half time, and then they.
Is it just like a scribble for the second half names?
No. And I keep record, and that's who becomes man of the match, which is why sometimes the person who's won first half ends up getting substituted or whatever, and then.
That sounds
So
all
the-
very civilised, actually.
Yeah,
That
it is
sounds
quite,
very
because
good.
it's all about what goes on the pitch.
It's all about the football, isn't it?
It didn't used to be, but it is now.
Yeah. Who was very popular then before it became what was happening on the pitch?
Mickey
Alan Innes,
Haswell.
because
he wore a
Mickey
cowboy
Haswell never won it.
Mickey Haswell.
Must have
Haswell
been
never won
Jay Conroy.
Jay
No,
Conroy.
definitely never won it. It was those that were up for a bit of a laugh and wouldn't take
Luke.
it too seriously.
Lukey?
Sam Hatton got it one year purely because he was terrified.
Yeah.
Big mistake to
I'll give you that one.
I do love the One Bells Day. I must admit, it's great fun. It's a really good night. It's a really good fun day. It's a good
make. I
night.
think the players are terrified.
Remind me again, which game is it this year, sorry?
16th of April.
16th of April.
We
Crawley.
are playing Crawley.
Crawley.
Yeah.
So it's Stu, I think you're volunteering. I think you're trying to get in with the sponsorship package. I think you want to go and sit with the one.
No,
one
stay
goal for the
stay
day.
as far away as possible from them. But it is always good fun when either does man of the match. It's always good getting
Terrifying.
all up on stage and whoever it's going to be. So this year there's a few. I don't know. Lyle Taylor could be quite fun seeing up on stage and with that. But there's a few, isn't there? There's a few. But
Depends who.
Bring it back for the day. Yeah. Could be good.
and exclusively updated on Twitter. Anyway,
Right, well, Jane Ray, thank you very, very much for taking part in today's show. We've spoken to you both previously on the podcast. I think we might well have. Jane, we definitely interviewed you about some of your first Wimbledon game and things like that when it comes to the Doncaster. Ray, did we do that with you? I don't think we did.
Haven't done me yet, no.
No, we've not done you. So, shall we? When was your first Wimbledon game, Ray? Can you?
It was September 1971,
Wow.
when I was 9 years old.
And it was against
Folkestone Town,
Folkestone Town.
as they were then.
Did they later become Folkestone?
They did.
It was the same. Right. Okay.
Then Invicta.
Yeah. Cool.
And we won 2-1. Ian Cook scored, so and now I get to meet him. So who'd have thought
Who'd
that?
have thought that?
Yeah.
Your favourite Wimbledon player of all time?
Oh, Dickie.
Dickie. Yeah. Did we do your favourite Wimbledon player of all time?
I can't remember, so I wouldn't want to say something different if it was.
Should we just say Alan Innes? Alan Innes, right? Yeah. Alan Innes, yeah. Very favourite. Okay, great. What's James? Go back to you. What's the latest? You're on Doncaster board. No, we're not here to talk about Doncaster matters, but is there anything you can update us with? Things anything that's coming up in the what's the word I'm looking for, Stu?
Pipeline.
Pipeline. That will do.
That was
Yes,
Paul.
thank you,
So
Paul.
we have, if you've got a matchday programme from today,
Which we do.
which we do,
Thursday night games.
we have just agreed what our priorities for the year are going to be. So what we've tended to do in the last couple of years is completely overestimate what is achievable, recognising that we're trying to build a new stadium and get all the planning application through and all of that kind of stuff. So it looks like our areas of prioritisation for this next term are about the organisation itself. So what the football club board looks like and what the Doncaster Trust board and how the two interact, and looking that we're going to be moving to a bigger stadium with hopefully bigger revenue streams and that kind of thing. The new stadium itself, obviously, we've got a good way there now with the planning application. It's got to go through the mayor yet, and then we've got to build the thing. It'll be interesting. And then obviously the financing of all of that, whilst keeping our club afloat and alive and putting the right players out on the pitch and paying for all of that when it's fan-owned. Coherent communications, we hear it time and time again. And the club have brought in a chap called James Booth who's been helping on social media side of stuff and looking to have a more coherent messaging. And obviously part of that, along with member engagement, which is the other thing, is the project that I've been working on, WebJam, which we're hoping to launch later this year in May, June, July time. So you'll be getting lots of comms about that soon. And then external campaigns, so things like Supporters Direct and the Football Sports Federation, things like safe standing, that kind of thing, how much we should be doing with them. Chris and Zoe, who were previously on the board, were really good at that kind of thing, and we kind of lost that, so we've made sure that we don't lose that.
And people who may not be members of Dons Trust, or Dons Trust members, can catch up with all the latest news on the Dons Trust website still, donstrust.org.
Yeah, www.thedonstrust.org. Yep.
Fantastic, and of course in the Matchday programme.
Yeah, we have a page in every programme.
The Matchday programme, of which, Ray, you are a regular contributor to. I say regular contributor as if people ask you. You pretty much write quite a bit of, produce quite a bit of the content in the programme.
A chunk of it, yeah.
Yes, how much of that, what exactly parts of it do you actually do? I know the away team that I think you're off.
Yeah, most of the away team pages, the rewind page, the 1, 5, 10, 20 diary.
That's really interesting to know.
I source the away fans view, the other view, and also the League 2 news page now as well.
And
it's a newish one.
Time does it take of your working week?
I dread to think.
Yeah.
I've never really sort of added it all up, but there are some bits. I'm lucky perhaps with the bits that I can do, in that some of it can be done in advance.
Yeah.
So I do try and get as much done
ahead of time
as I can ahead of time. Yeah. But there are some that are time critical, like the match preview page and the scouting report. And transfer deadline day is always a bit hectic, because I thought, please don't sign somebody, because I've just signed that off, and inevitably somebody signs something and back it comes.
Yeah. But no, it's great, and the away section, I think over the last couple of seasons has really been fantastic. It really lots of hard work. It's always a great read, the away team part. Probably actually the highlight for me of the programme actually. So it's
good stuff.
Yeah,
especially a rewind as well. I get it as press day because I now can remember the 20. That depresses me.
I'm impressed you can remember that far back.
Very, very nice picture of Neil Lardley 20 years ago in this.
I've got lots of those coming up. Sorry, Neil.
That's great. I love it.
Yeah. What I have found coming up is I've found quite a rich source of transfer gossip dating back 20 years. So you may see that in the next few programmes, and you'll be amazed at some of the players that we were linked with.
The tour info is quite interesting as well. I've never heard about the tours.
Yeah.
Potential tours. That's quite mad.
Yeah.
Imagine them not going on
Mexico.
tour.
Yeah.
Who'd been in that team at the time?
To meet Joe.
To meet Joe, yeah.
10 years ago was Luke Garrard. Makes me feel really old.
That's
Yes.
scary. That is scary.
Yeah.
Oh, how'd they
And the time's going to come when the 20-year bit is going to be AFC Wimbledon as well.
Stop.
But that's a while off yet.
That will make you feel old.
But when we started, 10 and 20 were
we-
Wimbledon. Now it's just the 20.
Ray, if you ever want some wrestling related things for that page,
I'll let you know. Yeah.
I mean, it was
Okay.
WrestleMania 12 20 years ago. Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Big match. Anyway, right. Who here is going to Hartlepool on tomorrow?
Probably have to set off
on the Good
Oh
Friday.
yeah, no, of course.
Stu, I know you're going. You're driving up, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm up with the kit on Friday morning.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what time I'm going to leave.
Which kit?
It's
It's going to have to be the green one this time.
Yes, because they're playing blue and white. don't
Yeah,
they?
it has to be green.
So
Fair
Talking of the kit, why do we not wear the white one more often now? Because
yeah.
I looked at Morecambe last week.
Why not in a white kit? Come on.
I looked at Morecambe last week, and there's two teams playing in stripes and dark shorts.
Yeah,
I,
it made no
I
sense.
thought,
I asked a question
where
and
the
they
white
laugh at me.
Huh?
They laugh at me now. Maybe because Nick picks on them every podcast, but I don't know. The green kit's used so heavily now, isn't it?
It
Like,
is,
just don't-
yeah.
And we've got another year of it. Obviously, we've got people see my facial expression, then it was, yes, we've got another year of it.
Yeah.
What does John Green think of the green kit?
I don't know, should we give him another phone call? See what he says?
Yeah. Awesome, I would imagine.
Yeah, I'm not so sure he's sold on the green kit particularly. It is. Well, updates. June. I'm saying that updates are going to come. They're going to have to come from you. So I'm assuming, Chris, you'll be all right to do them because no one else is going. None of us are going. So I'll be off at Luton. I can do updates from Luton, Dagenham, and Richmond if you want, but I don't know if you'll particularly be interested.
I will do the updates, and I did say at Morecambe the next goal will be us. It wasn't.
It wasn't.
So don't listen to me on.
No, wasn't it? You also said at Exeter when it was 2-0. You said there's more goals in this game, and it finished 2-0.
Yeah, don't listen to me too much.
Updates will be on Periscope, Instagram, and Twitter at 9YRS Podcast. Once again, say thank you very much to Jane.
You're very welcome. Nice
To
to be
Ray.
here, thank you.
Yep, thank you.
And to Paul. Very, very, very big thank you to Paul for sorting all the data for this one. Big job this week, so we're eternally
Good fun.
appreciative.
Kept me
of
out
that.
of mischief.
And yeah, we'll see you next week when we'll be joined by Sammy Carruthers, Stu. Honestly, we are. I promise you. No, I'm not.
You're not taking a piss.
I'm not taking a piss. Time to leave you with the old theme music of another wrestler of Adam Rose. And we'll see you next week.